now on another adventure. No need to worry, I'll be your mentor. Before we get going on this wonderful trip, gotta stop at the Roost and you better leave a tip. Say hello to my friends at the bar. When you come to this place, they know who you are. Pouring some shots, meet a new friend, just when you thought that this was...
What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Yes, it's just me today. Yeah, it's starting my birthday week, so all I'm going to do is drink a bunch of Tab and talk some Intellivision. So let's crack it open. Oh, my goodness. So let me just adjust this. So how is everyone doing? So I had a few different topics today. I'm heading up camping up to northern Michigan. It's going to be beautiful. Heard we're about to get some insane storms. We already had some insane tornadoes. What's up? Here's Johnny. What's up? Panda Sub. And thank you. Yes, Johnny Ups, I am going to tab it up. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm heading up to northern Michigan to do some camping. And sorry, I don't have the lighting done right. This is kind of like a last minute thing. I'm like, this is the last thing I'm going to do on YouTube and for this week, and then come the weekend, you know, when I get back, we'll get back into it. Got a lot of stuff happening, but yeah, I can't wait to get up and do some camping. But like I said, we had a lot of tornadoes here. There's a city called Armada, Michigan, that the tornadoes just tore through and like ripped like roofs off of buildings to the point where they got to like demolish buildings and rebuild them. And yeah, it's pretty sad. We were out sitting on my back porch watching this thing come in. Luckily, where I'm at in the Detroit metro area, it didn't hit in our area. But even in Detroit off the freeway, it lifted up some cars, ripped up trees. But anyways, this isn't the tornado live stream. This is the Intellivision live stream. Anyways, so I want to talk about, because I am going camping and hopefully no tornado picks me up and throws me away. I want to talk about some memories, things I do up north. I say up north, and for Michigan, that's what we call anything that's not the city. It's like northern. But what I do is I end up bringing one of my Intellivisions or my Intellivision flashback, and I have like a power station. And I've said this before, I think, so if I sound like a broken record, but I'll plug all this little 10-inch TV in. So we'll have the campfire going, have the big picnic table with the Intellivision in the center. And then, yeah, exactly. Was this a tornado live stream? It was for one or 2 seconds. And now it's a tornado of a live stream, but not a tornado live stream. But I used to, the last few years I've been doing this. And last year I brought my flashback up and we were really getting into horse racing. Me and my buddy Andy were playing horse racing and we were having fun. And yes, well, thank you, Lance. Exactly. Support and smash that like button. What's up, live in the moment or live in the moment, whatever you prefer. But no, we got up and really got into horse racing, and we got online and kind of pulled up the manual. And I was like, man, let's I used to play this as a kid and just mess around, just play some bets and stuff like that. But to be honest, never got too deep into it. But I just have fun, just, coaxing and doing the whip and hearing the sounds of the horse galloping and stuff like that. But we got into it, and then we're like, really got into the betting and how how many furlongs and the track conditions and how you'd bet against your horses. And then all of a sudden we're like, why is the one horse not running correctly? Well, it turns out one of my controllers literally took a crap on me. So we had one controller, and you really want to have two for horse racing. So now I'm bringing up my System 3, and we are going to play on original hardware with the power station on a 10-inch TV around the campfire. So if that's not nerdy enough, I don't know what is. By the way, this Tab is delicious. If you haven't tried Tab, kids, it's a brand new soda that just came out. It's hitting the market by storm. If you're on a diet, you want to lose some weight, you want to count your calories, you're going to try Tab. sponsored by DJC Game Studios, or the other way around. Tab is sponsoring us. What's this? Just watched your buddy's video today. So he's not buying Amico because he can just mooch off your Amico for free. Well, the one, okay, I will say something about what I'm planning on doing. So I have I ordered a wood grain Founders, and I also got a black, the Tron black. What was it called? Graphite black. And I am gonna, I guess I could take the camping memories off here since we're done with that. I'm gonna have like a big party here for whatever release there is. As soon as I get one, I'm going to have a big party, and I have an arcade down here that I've built up over the years, just from finding and fixing and anyways, not gonna get into it. But I have a bunch of little TVs, and I have a big screen TV down here behind the bar, and I am going to run USB connectors through everything. So basically, we're gonna have Amicos on all the TVs, or at least so you can play like emoji charades. It'll be everywhere in the arcade, like on all the TVs. We're gonna do Evel Knievel, stuff like that. What's up, Cy? But anyways, that's what I'm coming down to is all my friends will come over. So even if they don't buy an Amico, I'll probably buy them one, but for Christmas maybe. But if not, yeah, they'll come down here. We're gonna play. We're definitely gonna play. I love horse racing. I bet on the computer just beat my horse. It's the whipping, right? Like, could they even do that nowadays? Is that how it is? I don't know. They're not really whipping them. I guess they're just kind of tapping them. Little tappity tap tap. Get them run down that muddy racetrack. How does Tab compare to RC Cola? Well, let me tell you something about Tab and RC. RC, if you look at the ingredients, is almost exactly like Pepsi. I think there's like 2 ingredients that are flipped around, whether it's like sugar or caramel color or caffeine, and it's insane. Years ago, I checked this out because my buddy had RC Cola, and I was like, what's this all about? So I looked at both the ingredients between Pepsi and RC, and they were almost identical. Like I said, same ingredients flipped around. Now, as far as Tab, I should be wearing my Tab Nutrition shirt, but you ain't gonna see on this terrible thing. It is. Oh no! Oh no! What's PETA? Just kidding. No, Tab is was Coke's first, like, I guess you could call it a diet drink, but it has more of a cola sweet taste. But this is the scary thing, okay? And I'm being serious about this. Is I love the taste, but it has almost no sodium, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 protein, 0 fat. What is it? Is it just a chemical that makes your brain think you're drinking cola? And it has a weird taste. Yeah, right. It is. It's okay to whip it if it's not a real horse. RC plays second fiddle to Pepsi. Welcome to the Tab, Pepsi, and RC stream. Here we talk about different colas of our favorite generations. No, but I really love Tab. I mean, now I'm trying to beat the clock. We got what? It's till the 31st. I need to try to drink all these. Tabs are. You don't like Tabs or taste? I'm sure you meant something like that. Aftertaste. Yeah, it has like its own taste. That's, I guess, kind of the weirdness of it. Is it doesn't taste like Diet. I think it's a better tasting cola than a Diet Coke. Like, this should be their Diet Coke. But like, just literally just call it Tab. I don't know. I'm not signing any petitions. I know it ain't gonna come back after this. Well, I'm going to have to try this Tab soda. Sounds like I can't believe it's not butter magic. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I heard they're making a Tab Amico. I don't know if I can confirm that or deny it, or that it's a complete farce and it's not happening. But anyways, let's get back to some other topics besides Tab. I mean, I'll still talk Tab. So I was going to say this, and I was going to bring this up to anyone that is. I'm a big bowling fan on the original Intellivision, and back in the day, my dad would always say, actually, Daniel, Diet Dr. Pepper tastes delicious. Like yeah, that's what I figured. I figured you could deny that. So, okay. But I also did not confirm it. I'm sure you'll find a way. I mean, I guess if I made my own custom tab skin, is it maybe they can make eventually, maybe a couple years down the line after the release and you're deep into it and you have like a create your own Amico skin website. That'll probably never happen. But if it did, I would make a tab one just because why not? But yeah, no, Diet Dr. Pepper is a pretty darn good tasting diet soda. But yeah, so back in the day, my dad would always love to play bowling. My mom and dad would both play. I played with my mom a lot. Like my dad was the blue, my mom was always the green, and the red, green, and then I was the blue. And then if you had a fourth player, they were always dark green. What an odd choice, green and dark green. But I love that. I love that game, even if it looks like a hey, what's up, dude? I can't give you a tab unless you order something. Right, give me a Pepsi free. You want a Pepsi, pal? You're going to pay for it. Dude, what is up, my friend? Yeah, it's that's a great. I think of that every time I like reach in the fridge or I go, "Hey, can somebody grab me a tab?" That's the best thing. Dude, so great. But yeah, when we found out where's the little Muppets to come by and jump around when I mess up. When I was a kid, we'd play, and I believe it was, and this is, I was trying to I couldn't remember if you got above 200 or if it was 250 to 300, that they called it the band would play, which is basically the Intellivision would play you a song like dun, 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 like if you got a good score on bowling. And I wanted to know how many people actually experienced that doing a high score on the original Intellivision bowling. Wow, it's a lot of carbonation. I'll wait. Just kidding. I will drink a tab, though. Yeah, well, anyways, I'm not going to look it up because you know me and research. But I do know... I think I did it at 250. Like, I think... by the way, get this. I actually went out and played bowling. Me, my friend Sophia, my friend Andy and Renee, we all went up to a bowling alley here, and I have not bowled in probably 10 years or something. And it's like I have to relearn it every time. And you know me, I'm always thinking, what's up, dude? I'm always, I always like love the video bowling because I got like a silver strike, and then I constantly play Intellivision bowling. So you're never good enough, Johnny Ups. I'm trying to remember what the score was you have to get. And a lot of people, and I was just talking to Jeff. You never got the song? It's hard. It really is. I mean, like I said, to even get over a 200 is Intellivision bowling. Like I said, I was telling Jeff because he's just getting into it. There's a lot to that game. Like there's even more than I used to even mess with the controls. You got to remember that 16-bit processor had to where you would basically you'd set your guy's position up and down, and then you'd have to bring that white ball down, that white dot, and when you let go, that's where he was going to throw the ball on that position in the lane. Then you had your slickness that you set. I always set it at 5 to make it like medium. And then as he's running, you got to hit your angle, like your clock. So your 3 o'clock would be your straight, down to like a 6 or 6:30 would curve to the left, other way would curve to the right, depending on what angle you're throwing it. And then you could even hit loft as he's releasing the ball. So all those play, and if you get all that right and kind of get it into a, yeah, I know, right? I would. Like, it should be, I should get Papa Pete to help me too, because me and him love that game and play it all the time. But yeah, Jeff was looking in the manual last week, and he was like, there's a loft button. I was like, oh, I always thought that was up and down. He goes, no, it says you can actually hit loft as well. So that was another option you could do to set the angle, like the hardness of the curve. Your left hand is easier. My buddy Justin played left-handed, and here's a funny thing: is like we used to like play out in my old house. I had a giant projector out in my garage. I have said this a million times, not getting into it deep, but we would all sit there and play, and he was always left-handed, and he was really hitting the strikes, and the rest of us were all right-handed. And we finished, and he won another game, and it was like, okay, let's play a couple more. And we had like a little score chart and everything, and then so we're like, hey, he's going to the bathroom. Let's reset the game, but put him as right-handed. So he comes back, he was player 4, so we were like, he was dark green. So we're playing, and he comes back, and he's like, damn it, gutter ball. He's like, damn it, gutter ball. What is going on? And I go, oh, man, you were doing great. What are you doing, man? Yes, it was ahead of its time. It really was. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you messing up? And then finally he's like, you jerks, you switched it on me. I was like, we did, dude. Just like an armor battle when your friend would get up and go to the bathroom and you'd set 2 in invisible mines. You put one in front of his current tank he was using and one in front of the reserve. So he'd go, okay, I feel better. Boom. And he'd be like, damn it. And then his reserve would turn on. He'd pull forward. Boom. And that would blow up. Oh, my God. Anyways, I always thought that was funny. But, yeah, my dad, I remember, he actually did a perfect game. The only time I've ever seen it. And the band plays the full song. If you only get, I think, like 200 or 250, I think it's 250. If I'm right. I hope that's right. It doesn't sound weird. That it played like partial, like a little tune, but it didn't play like the whole like grandstand like you did the best. Yeah, and it was ahead of its time, the physics and everything. There's so much to that game, but once you learn how to do those curves, how to set those angles, those exact spots to hit, you're going to be striking. And I play it usually once a week, with some friends, maybe once every other week, obviously this week we're going to be playing a lot. Oh yeah. Who hasn't done that in Armor Battle, right? Just, you always got to mess around with people. Like that's another great thing. That's another thing I didn't get to play. I know it was available. I was so in that moment during Amico Fest, if you will. There was a lot of games I didn't play. I just sat and watched people, or I was talking with people, interacting, just watching the games, watching people play. Like there was a game, Dino Blaster, that looked beautiful, and I'm a huge Bomberman fan. But I sat there for like 20 minutes watching people play because it was so much fun to watch. The same was Armor Battle, or I'm sorry, Battle Tanks. It was a really, really awesome looking game. And I tell you what, it's going to be just as, if you loved Armor Battle, this is going to just blow your mind. But I cannot wait to, because there's even a helicopter in this one, and oh man, so cool. But yeah, you got to love the Intellivision band. Well, let's see. What else would I have that was going on? I cannot wait to go camping, man. Oh yeah, I was talking about bowling. Let me get back to that. So we're up there, and so of course me and Andy have always back in the day we played bowling, and you know how Intellivision bowling is. It's kind of in most video game bowlings back in the day, you'd see the pin set up from like up top, so you'd see how many you had in a row or what the pattern looked like after you knocked it down. And I know I've said this a million times before, but we'd come up with funny names. And what is this? Did you ever get into Sea Battle? Similar technique used. See, that was one I never got. Space Battle, Space Spartans, Star Strike, Utopia, Sea Battle. Wow, Tab does have a lot of. If this is ever going to run out of carbonation by the end of this month, I don't think so. I never got into Sea Battle, and I know it's a great game. I played it a few times. I need to get into it. I really do. What did you think of the Wii Bowling, Wii Sports? I really like that. I kind of came into that late. I kind of ripped on the Wii a bit until I played it, which is kind of funny because a lot of people are doing that to the Amico. I think that people are going to be very surprised when they get that controller in their hand. As far as Intellivision Amico, because people are just talking. I mean, a lot of people aren't, but a lot of people are, and the people that really are trying to rip on that controller, it's a good feeling controller. It's just a good. I don't even want to. It's going to be great for motion control. It's going to be great for. it's just a good feeling in your hand. Like, and people say, "Oh, it's got problems." No, the thing is awesome. I think if anything, the controller is good to go. But yeah. So back when the Wii came out, I remember I was dating a girl that's like, "Oh, I can't wait to see this new Nintendo console." And the first thing I said was, "Oh, it looks like we have a guest." Hey, what's happening, dude?
Hey. Sorry, I'm a bit late today.
No problem. Here, let me plug in my headphones so I don't get too much echo here. That's all right, man.
You hear an echo? I'm hearing it good. Sounds good to me.
Is it okay?
Sounds great to me. Yeah. If anybody in the chat says
we're echoing, let me know. If not, I'll throw on my headphones. But yeah, because I'm hearing it good. Yeah, I was talking about the first time I saw the Wii, and I was saying I was talking about how I was so critical. So my girlfriend was like, this new Nintendo console's coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't even have as good as graphics. Like, who cares about motion control? This is dumb. And it's the size of 3 DVDs put together. What a small, that just looks stupid. I don't want to play it. And then a couple years later, I got myself one and was like, oh my goodness, I'll play bowling all day. You get to go like this and play bowling, so it's the same thing, what's coming out now.
I can remember it was so hard to get that first little while, right? And I can't remember where I saw it the first time, but I do remember it was Christmas Eve of what year would it have been? 07, 08, 09, in there. And I had this old car. And believe it or not, that week we sold the car and I went and I bought the Wii. All of a sudden, like 2 days later, the Wii available over on the US side, Christmas Eve, because it was impossible to find. And we went and we picked it up that night before. I always went to my sister's house in Maine for Christmas Eve dinner, and we grabbed it when we went over. So that was the first Wii we had. And these guys talk about Wii Sports, Wii Bowling. I mean, that game, I could go play that right now and love every second of it.
Absolutely. It's I still have a Wii. I literally still collecting for it because that's going to be the next thing that just explodes in price too.
Yeah.
So I've been getting all the main games, and I think I got like maybe 25 to 30 games, something like that.
Yeah.
But I have to wait till I go to a flea market or garage sale and just find like a box, I guess there's nothing that I've right now that I don't have that's not decent. I mean, just like the sports games, they're worth nothing, just like any sports games of modern era, at least,
The Super Mario Galaxies, and it seems to me that it's almost like some shovelware is worth a fortune. And I don't know if you watch his channel or not, but the guy who does my theme song, Rebel Gaming Club, Dan.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, Dan has a complete Wii collection minus 3 games.
Whoa! And what games are you missing?
He's missing Veggie World, which I'm always on the lookout for. There's one that is a cycling trainer, and the other one escapes you right now. I could go to on his Facebook. He always lists 3, but he basically just give up because he's not interested in just going out and saying, "Oh, here's $200. I'll take it." He wants to find it in the wild, or he wants to have a
that's the way to do it for real.
And so he's sort of it's on the shelf. But 17. He did the same thing with GameCube about 5 years ago. So look at that now, right? So
that was. My Wii has a GameCube like built into it, which I kind of never knew that. Were all of them like that? I can't.
I'm trying to think if there were later versions.
What I had, because this is my second one, because my other one busted, but. Yeah, you open up a door and you're like, oh, you just plug GameCube controllers in here. I was like, cool.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of the very original ones do have. They took GameCube discs, but I believe there's also, as someone might know in chat, the later models, like when they started changing things around a little bit, didn't take them anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's just like when everybody talks about the Amico, I go, until you get that in your hand, you're going to be critical. Unless you're like an Intellivision fan, like a lot of us, like we were just excited for it anyways. But yeah, if you're a critical person, literally just wait till you get your hands on it. It's going to be, I think it's going to be just a great addition to it for any game collector. That's why it's like, it's marketed towards the casual gamer or the pick up and play type of gamer and the retro gamer. But I think hardcore gamers really are just going to be like, man, I need one of those. I need to have one of those just so when people come by, I can have a little party.
It's kind of a similar kind of, like you said, it's similar kind of marketing with the casual, which the Wii really hit big casual. I mean, they sold like 110 million of the things, But the trouble is, the 70 million never bought another game.
Just Wii Sports, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's all they play. Well, probably not 70, but you know what I mean. That's a high number, and I don't think that's going to happen with the Amico. I think you're going to hopefully some of these really catch on to the families, but the games are going to be so affordable and available that you'll see the person throw in the $10, the $15 over to get a new game every now and again. So I really do see. I'm really anticipating or hoping for a lot of similarities in that aspect. Plus, I believe that Tommy's aimed at a wider range of demographic with the retro, along with the family, along with the educational, along with the group. Right. Yeah. So,
I'm excited. I can't wait to see Bomb Squad footage. The closer we get to that launch date, I'm like, that is going to be one. Because then they just showed where you cut the wire, and I'm like, on what trailer was that? The E3 trailer where they showed the cutting of the wire. I think I was like,
around there,
or something like that. And I was like, man, so you're going to have like someone doing a combination of numbers, someone speaking into something, someone. What you cut the red wire, cut the blue wire, solder here. So like that whole thing's going through my head.
Oh yeah,
and I like that is one I'm really excited about. But
and there's going to be so many games that were complex like that are going to have so much potential for a group setting. Like we do know we haven't seen, but we've heard a lot about. And I always go with Bomb Squad because it was it was a complex game, but along with that of the other IntelliVoice games, so B-17 Bomber. And we haven't seen anything yet. We do know it's being developed, but you're thinking about a fact that you could have like 4 people and one person's in charge of fighters, one's a bombardier, one's a navigator, one's the pilot, and there's all kinds of things you can do with that. And Space Spartan's very similar fashion, right?
There you go. Now my face is lit up. Space Spartan. I really love Space Spartans. Yeah. Just as a kid, I thought the voices were so controlling the computer, the shield, rebuilding the shield, repairing stuff. Yeah. The gameplay was pretty similar to kind of space battle style. You're just kind of blasting around. But boy, I tell you what, the computer sounds like there wasn't really too. I'd say that one and Bomb Squad were probably my favorite IntelliVoice games. But like Tron Solar Sailor and B-17 Bomber I liked, but I don't think as back in those times that I really got much into the gameplay other than hearing bombs away.
I have to grab my basket. I'll keep talking.
Sure.
See, and I'm my favorite is B-17 Bomber.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It really is, because that was one of the first ones we got Space Spartans, B-17, and Bomb Squad all at the same time for Christmas 1982. Cool. That's my brother-in-law did. Right? And cool, he was always a big World War II buff and such. So I got to get myself a hernia.
Kitty,
I'm just home, so the cat's going to get in their basket.
Nick, I leave tomorrow morning for camping. I was just talking about that, and I'm bringing my flashback with one controller because we know one's broken. And I'm bringing my System 3 with a power generator and my 10-inch TV. So we are playing baseball. We are playing horse racing. I'm bringing World Championship baseball because I love the slide. And then what else? I bring in Lock and Chase, Burger Time, and something else I can't remember. But bowling, of course. That's already in the thing. But yeah, I cannot wait to do that. I was like, that's my ultimate vacation getaway, is going out in the woods, having a tent, cooking over the campfire, and playing Intellivision right in front of the campfire. Who says you need power when you bring it portable?
That's right.
But yes, exactly. Starbase 1 under attack.
What's going on, Lance?
That is such an iconic thing. And it was funny because when we did the Amico song, I put that I did the voice for that, and my buddy, the other half of DJC that does the music, he did like an enhancement over the voice to make it sound even cooler. But if you can hear that's the original, like, "Hello, Commander, computer reporting," and then I'm like, "And then the rebels I'm thwarting," or whatever. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite things. Going out in the woods and playing Amico. Hey, that'll be next. Absolutely, I'm going to do that.
Well, you should take AD&D with you then too, because
that's what Lance just said. Take Cloudy Mountain for the Dragon Roar.
And maybe, do you have a copy of King of the Mountain?
Oh, no, I don't. I need to get that, though. How is that, by the way? Because I have more RPG-ish?
Very little. not enough to give a real good opinion.
Yeah.
But the newest version that is available from the Blue Sky Rangers is there was an original version, which is in a green box, very difficult to get, and
you guys got to bold, guys. Remember, you heard it here first. They're not doing a Tab Amico. Well, I can only dream and try. Maybe I'll just spray paint mine. I'll hand paint it as a Tab Amico.
You talk nice to Slappy, you never know what you'll get.
Hey, yeah, we always have Slappy.
That's right.
Thanks, Daniel.
But anyway, they've updated it since, and the ROM that's out now, plus the new version from the Blue Sky Rangers, the King of the Mountain, is the new and improved version of the game. So it's supposed to be quite good, but it's supposed to be quite difficult.
Yeah. So now that you're on here, have you ever made the band play the full tune on bowling by getting the highest or perfect score?
Have I ever done it?
Yeah.
Well, you got to get 200. I have done it.
What is the perfect? Is it 300 or 200 in bowling?
300 is the perfect score.
It's perfect.
That's
my dad got a perfect one before, and like he was playing like throughout the whole day, and then he goes, "Come in here! I'm about to throw a perfect," and he threw it, and then the whole song, I forgot how it went because that's how many.
Tchaikovsky's Overture.
Is that what it is?
12 Overture plays after if you score 200 or better.
Yeah. That only plays half of it if you score the 200. If you do 300, it does a long version of it. And,
really? I've never seen that. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm almost 100. I'm 90% positive on that because the one when I hit I think I hit like just over 200. God, it must have been like 7 or 8 years ago. It played like a little tune, but it didn't go for a long time, and I was like, oh, okay. Take care, Daniel. Thank you for coming in here, man. I'm doing okay. I'm ready to go camping and play some Intellivision. Like I said, I'm so happy. I'm like, oh, this is my final. I get to do this stream and then finish my packing, go to sleep, wake up, drive up to northern Michigan, and just get out in the woods. And I am just gonna do almost nothing. I just want to sit by a campfire. I'll probably go swimming in the Lake Michigan out there, and it's so beautiful and clean. And I hope it's nice and cool too, as it's been so hot and muggy. And like I was saying earlier, when we started, everybody thought it was a tornado stream when I first started, because I was like, we had a bunch of tornadoes hit here in Michigan, and
really?
which I mean, we don't get too. It's kind of rare we'll get them in around the city area, but even up a little north of me, the place where I used to go to the flea markets is a little more countrified, and they got hit really bad. They kind of tore through their downtown, had a lot of old vintage buildings, whole roofs ripped off to the point where they got to demolish these buildings and rebuild them. Wow. And and then over in Detroit, a little more south of me, I guess on the freeway, a twister picked up a couple cars and threw them and ripped up some trees. We're like, that's odd. I don't rarely hear anything hitting the city. You know, it was a crazy. That was
believe in global warming or not, but it's the climate getting warmer further north. And that's what's happening.
There's some crazy climate stuff. Yeah, because you could tell because it's just the weirdest weather. And it was crazy. We were out on my back porch, and I have like a little covered porch, and we're all sitting out there kind of huddled in the range going sideways. Everything looks green, and and it's just coming down, and we're just like, wow, this is nuts, And then you look on your phone, and it's showing all the alerts in the different cities, and it was crazy, man. I'm just glad, thank God, it didn't hit us, because I mean, some people, they got hit pretty bad.
Wow. No, we typically have for 40 years. There was not a tornado around here, and now the last 10 years they started to get up this far north. So it's very strange.
Hey, Mr. Swah. It's we don't get it. Like I don't. As a kid, I was always scared because when you were like, and I don't know if you like in elementary school, they'd always like show you the tornado video, what you need to do, and it'd show like families crying and people getting devastated, and you'd show all this records because it'd always be like where tornadoes were like hit, But we lived in a city, and we'd always get tornado sirens and the stuff. But never have I ever like saw one touch down in the city,
right.
or at least anything that would do any hurtful damage. But yeah, it's getting weird now, man. Like
you just don't know.
I went up to it's a place I'm going now with a friend of mine a couple years ago, And me and her went out on the beach, and people were coming up to go, get out of here. There's a big storm coming in. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get the picture of this, like an idiot, right? You don't realize how harsh Mother Nature can be until you go, oh no big deal. Just
you were on the lake though, right?
Yeah, we were in Lake Michigan, dude.
Okay,
we went down, so we're going
huge.
down this trail that kind of there was like there's some woods and trees, and it was all sand. And it opens out on the beach, and people were like running to getting in their cars, taking off. And when they're like, "Don't go down there. There's water spouts." I'm like, "Oh, I got to check this out," because now as an adult, I'm like so fascinated.
Yeah,
we come down there, and the white caps are coming in and crash, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks crazy. Maybe we should." And all of a sudden, you kind of got thrown back, and we're like, "Oh shoot!" And we run up, and literally this must have came right off the water. It swirled and lifted us up about 5 feet in the air. Shot like sand, like all up, like in my clothes were just filled with sand, like in one. And it was, I've never felt so much Mother Nature wrath from that wind blast. And I knew that it must have been right as that spout hit the sand, and it blasted us right up that trail into the woods. And then we were like, oh, we ran, got in my car, and oh, it was scary. But I tell you what, man, do not.
We have areas like that around here. It's a little bit down around Halifax, Nova Scotia, is a place called Peggy's Cove, and it's the actual, you're talking wide open, straight south is, Bahamas and Bermuda, 2,000 miles away. So it's right on the ocean. And we have situations like that where the weather picks up, and every year they tend to lose people who they're there 1 minute and the next minute they're not, never to be seen again. And because they get too close, right? In certain situations. So
and that's gotta be
scary, man.
Yeah, we will get to that in 2 seconds as we talk tornadoes. When people are running away from danger, it's generally not a good idea to go in the opposite direction.
Unless you're Iron Man.
Right? You'd think. I thought I was too cool. Well, I was taught a lesson that day. Yes, that cat is awesome. Look, the how you can see her in the camera. It's a her, right?
It's a her.
Okay. Yeah, she is adorable. Just looking right at the
she has her moments, let's put it that way.
What is the most underrated original Intellivision game? I mean, I think we talked about this a couple times. I have a couple, but I'll let you let me take a look. Can
I cheat and give you one? My first one, very easy.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to give it to bowling, because it's not a game you hear talked about a whole lot, but of all the games with a very complex, very well done for 1982 when it came out, right? Or 81 or whatever it was. It might have been 80 even. And the aspects of bowling that they managed to work into the game are incredible. And it's just simply a lot of fun to play, and it's very challenging. It has that one little hiccup where you can sort of cheat by doing the same thing with a left-handed bowler every time.
Yeah.
But if you play it sort of as it's meant to be played, it's a challenging, fun game.
Yeah. I would have to say Frog Bog and horse racing, although those are kind of, I'd say more horse racing. That'd be more of a, one that people don't think is too great. Thanks, Cy. Chuck is sort of a real life imaginary movie character like Ernest. I would watch Chuck movies. Chuck Goes to Camp is coming up. Yeah, Utopia. I don't know if it's underrated, but Utopia.
Yeah.
I didn't play that as much as I've done over the last 15 years as I did back when I was a kid. But Thin Ice would be another one, I think.
Yep.
There's a couple good little hidden gems in there. And like I said, Space Spartans to me is probably not one that people go, oh, I remember playing that. It's my favorite. But I think that's a great one. What was this here? What's the most overrated, expensive MTV game? Well, that's Spiker. It's a volleyball game, and it's at $2,000. I think that's ridiculous.
But the thing about it, though, Chuck, it's not a bad game.
Oh no, I'm sure it's. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen people play it. I've never played it. No, actually, I take that back. It's on this flashback, isn't it?
It is on the flashback.
I did play it then.
It's not, but it's okay. Sorry, it couldn't be good enough to be worth $2,000. Like it's worth $2,000. No, it's the collectability that makes it worth $2,000. But I would say something like the learning funds. I mean, they aren't that much fun, but oh my god, they're $500, right?
Yeah,
$300 to $500, and they're stuff like that.
Stadium Mud Buggies. I don't think that's a fun game. I don't think it plays very well.
Okay.
Cool artwork.
Yeah,
it's an okay game, but for what they're going for too, it's just that's a very overrated game.
I think it's the second most expensive, right?
Yeah, that's right. Next to, where is it? Decathlon? No, you're right. It's Stadium Spiker, Stadium Mug Buggies, and I think maybe Super Pro Decathlon Complete in Box might be. It's, well, maybe not.
Yeah,
It depends.
right there.
It depends on who's selling them, really. Can you ask Tommy if Intellivision will make a Mario Kart racing? We can have Finnegan Fox, the Running Man, Earthworm Jim. Hey, you know what? That's one of the robots from Night Stalker. That would be cool. I mentioned that. God, a couple of years ago, I don't know if it was on an OE Pete Ask Tommy or if it was actually in a Reddit chat, which I rarely get in because I'm not that smart to get on all these things. But no, there was I had mentioned what would be cool is to have I had it more like a battle royale kind of thing, like a Super Smash Brothers kind of with
yeah.
I was like, take the Burger Time chef, take the Night Stalker dude, the running dude, the shifty eye dealer, and make like a big. So I think that they said they were working on something, but that was a while ago. So that
take their properties and put them in something like that. So really, a kart racing game, it's been done so many different times. Why not? You can get the kart racing game out of those characters. I think it would probably be down the road a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Because it would sell well. I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Utopia never gets credit for. Yeah, it is the first sim game. And it's a great game. It really is. And Lance Jennings right here, perfect. I almost forget about this, and that's one I still need to. Commando. I bought this. This is one of those games where I was out in California into the early 2000s, and I went to Radio Shack, and they had tons of old stock, brand new in box, and I bought this brand new, opened it in the shrink wrap, played it for a few months, and sold it with a lot. You know, like I said back then, no one cared about the price of these. You know,
that's right.
And I had a blast playing that. You basically were a running man as the commando, but it played very good. It played very good like the arcade, I thought. The motorcycle, forget the name.
Motocross?
Yep, motocross. That's right. I had motocross, yeah.
Back to Johnny, UPS says about Utopia, never gets credit. Sometimes it gets credit if you're talking to the right people. We always say it's the original God game, and it's in the television promotions, the original God game, and it is. And the trouble is for all the people who are of the mindset that video games started with the NES in 1985, they don't credit as such. But anybody who's got a history of pre-crash video games will credit Utopia with it. And the people who are most familiar with the pre-crash games, they really do give Utopia pretty good recognition. Wouldn't you say, Chuck?
Yeah, I think, and I really think if no one's ever played it, it's friggin' awesome. I think it also had a little resurgence when the Flashback came out too.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's where I played it most because I as a kid I think it was maybe either too complicated or I didn't get into it as much. I was more of an action person, like I loved my Frog Bog and Astro Smash and Lock and Chase. Oh my God, that's another great one too. I never knew, not to get too off the subject, but I never knew Lock and Chase was an arcade game until like a few years ago. I was like, oh, it's an actual arcade because I had never seen one, and I think it's Data East if I'm not mistaken.
It is Data East, yes, because it's one of the three coming, right? One of the three original television games that were Data East were Burger Time, Lock and Chase, and
well, I can't wait to seeing what they did with Night Stalker. So anytime they mention how they talk about reimagining, and you see that how they did Night Stalker, I'm like, could you imagine Lock and Chase and just any type of those maze style games looking kind of like that? I mean, how Dyna Blaster kind of looks, kind of that kind of I call it 2.5D or pseudo 3D or whatever. But yeah, Lock and Chase. I always forget about it. And then of course Burger Time's coming too, and that's one of my tops. That's like one of my tops there.
That's right. Yeah, Lock and Chase. I learned a lot about Lock and Chase. Of course, Lock and Chase I put out on the 125 back, I think, in December. And I did a lot of research on it, and I learned a lot about that game. And then I don't know if you had the opportunity to see. I don't even know if we had met at this point, but on December 29th or something like that, I interviewed Chris Dumaresque, who's from Vancouver. The stream's still up on my channel, and he's the world record holder in television.
I think I saw that, or at least part of it, when you were streaming that.
Yeah. So, yes, the video of Chris playing setting the world record is on there. We watch it actually during the stream as well, and it's pretty good. Obviously it's kind of developing the pattern, but also managing to sort of adjust for the pattern as well as things advance, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, what was the final? I mean, I got fairly good at that. I got about halfway up the side, but what was like the final thing? I know there was like the purse, the crown, the hat, the crown, the purse, the telephone. I think there was.
Telephone was there. There's sunglasses. What the blazes was the top one?
And then the purse. Or no, that we said the purse. I forgot what I forgot what every one of those things were. But like there was some I've seen when you see those type of videos going, what is that? Like I'd never gotten that far. Now, did he play with the fast speed hitting the disc, the white dot, or did he start with the blue with the slow speed? As far as
I believe he started at the fastest speed.
Oh, okay. Then wow,
because
that's good.
I can remember it all ramps up to a set speed anyway.
After you get like what 2 or 3 boards in or something.
Somebody into it. And what I found about it when I played it is, yes, they went slower, but so did you. So
the Atari creep puts up
react real slow than it was fast.
Yeah, I didn't because whenever I remember going from like playing the from playing like the blue one, which like it's like slow motion. And then you go and hit the disc. It's like it was way better, way better. Yeah, Demon Attack. Wow, that's another great one. I can't wait for a lot of those in Magic games, or iMagic, or however you want to say it.
Episode 14 is when it was. Oh, there's Checkers. I'm probably better off to try to find it in my book. I probably have a list of them and tried to see it in the video. In my my scripts. Oh, it is the top hat, the crowns,
okay,
the briefcase, the phone, the clock, the camera.
Clock.
What I thought was a TIE fighter was sunglasses.
Oh, wow. I remember that thing looked like a TIE fighter.
Yeah, the lamp, the keys, and the last one was a heart. 10 of them.
Heart was the top one.
Yeah, and then once you get to the heart, it was $5,000, and I would always be a heart at $5,000.
Man,
and
what a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lance, I think if they're doing Burger Time, why not do Diner? And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Diner, I guess it's still kind of supposed to be borrowed from Data East, but I think that was only original Intellivision.
It's Intellivision only game release. Yeah. Yep. So if you have one, I'm sure you could probably do the second one. And I don't think the Diner had any relation to Data East, actually.
Oh.
I think the Diner cart was originally they
Masters of the Universe, right?
Masters of the Universe 2, and then converted over to Diner. So
yeah, you still remember all those the food balls were actually like Skeletor skulls. You could see they still stayed looking like skulls. I was like, why am I kicking human skulls around? It must have been. It was probably supposed to be Snake Mountain or something.
That's a weird kitchen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what are they cooking? Yes, my jaw is hitting the floor as well, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that.
Well, is today your birthday?
It's actually Thursday the 29th, but today starts my birthday week, the way I'm looking at it.
Oh, well, happy birthday. We won't see you for the next 4 days.
I'm going to be 4 years old.
Yeah, that's a good age. I've been that age for the last 20 years.
Should do a song for Atlantis. Maybe.
I'd like to see a game for Atlantis on the Amico.
Yeah, that's a great game. Yeah, Dunner was supposed to be He-Man too. No, we actually just finished I just finished laying down lyrics to the Night Stalker song. I tell you what, I had so much fun doing this song. And we kind of mentioned it before. I was like, I got to talk about running into the caverns. And I actually say I'm in the dark caverns. Little play on words there, the Atari thing. And I thought it was good, man. And just talking about running, I don't want to give away, but I had so much fun doing this, even more than I did with the Amigo song. So you guys should really love this. It's
right on.
And the music we have is just absolutely insane. We showed a little snippet to Tommy already, and he liked it. It was just the raw form of the beat, because we're trying to go along with the beat, like the don't.
Yeah,
it's kind of a classic one, but now I laid the vocals down. He's kind of setting it up, and then we got to do the sound effects and stuff on it, you know, because we're going to add obviously the original Night Stalker sound effects.
Like when you get hit. That's got the most unique set. One of the most unique sounds. Exactly.
Like weird echo thing.
Hey, creep.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm sorry. I'm there too. I'm not even paying attention to the chat here.
Yeah, I know. I totally was.
We get Gavin and, you know, Michael Long.
Thanks, Chris. That's awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Lance. That's all right. I think I'm make a Tommy Tallarico song. I don't even that's good. That would be a hard one to make. Yeah, I don't know. What I wanted to was Shifty Eye Dealer, because I already had kind of a whole jingle with it, and basically like, what's his deal? What is he all about? You know, and kind of saying like what is in his head? What is he thinking? Why does he get so happy when the house wins? You know, what is he, a maniac? Is he cool? Is he just shifty? You know. Anyways, and everybody's like, no, Night Stalker. So we're doing Night Stalker first. By the way, everyone, whether you're watching in replay or live now, all this is going to be available on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, you know, all the streaming services soon. The I Want My Amico song is uploaded, but it takes a while. It might be about maybe by this week sometime. It should be on there. So if you want to jam it out in your car or pull it up on your computer, download it, do whatever you kids do these days.
Whatever you do.
Music. And then hopefully we'll do some physical stuff after that. But yeah, but the Night Stalker song will be next, and it'll be available the same way. I'd probably do a debut on a stream or something, but then it'll be when it's already ready so you could go out and download it, so you can support me. But I appreciate it. Do you remember your first shooter? Mine was Plague Attack. Or you mean Plaque Attack? Plague Attack.
Got to be Plaque Attack.
I remember there was this. I had a Commodore VIC 20 that I got secondhand, and they always had those text games and a couple cartridge games, and one of them was called Tooth Invaders. And to me, it reminded me of like the Cavity Creeps. You were just like these little guys, and you're in these giant teeth, and you're like killing all these little little demons that are going on the teeth. It was really weird. That's kind of what that reminds me of. Maybe it was a version of that. Eating Paste, what is going on? Air-sea battle, if that counts.
Yep. I mean, there's bottom shooters, there's side shooters, there's free shmups, where you're horizontal.
That was one I loved. Life Force on the NES was amazing. I mean, back in the day, I just thought the graphics of that brain and all the bosses were so big and great, and the music, like Konami's music is great, anyways. But yeah, I thought that was just. I agree. That's a great shooter. Dreadnought Factor is a great one. If you ever played that on the original Intellivision, I think that's a good shooter.
Yeah, a lot of people rank that as the best Activision game.
I would say so.
Yeah, it's ahead of even Worm Whopper, and there are no bad Activision games. Like,
I mean, you got Pitfall, River Raid.
Yeah, but a lot of that's the top of the list for a lot of people. That's in a lot of people's top 5. But I just haven't got enough experience with it to have it up in there, right?
Yeah. I just I played it. I think because when I finally was I didn't play it back in the day, but when I started trying to collect the 125. Yeah. I found that at I would crash 2 cans together like Stone Cold Steve Austin used to.
Just don't do it in the room there. Go outside.
Yeah, no, not on the games or the systems. What were we just saying?
We're talking about Dreadnought Factor.
Dreadnought, yeah. So I found it at a game store, and they had it like in the clearance bin, where now they kind of moved that. This was about 5 years ago, 4 years, no, about 5 years ago. They had like a bunch of Atari and television. They were just kind of laying, and it was complete in box. And I said, "How much you want?" But they're like, $15. And I was like,
"Okay,
old." I know it's a lot more now. And I mean, I know it's not way up there, but that was a good price. It was in decent shape. It's almost mint. I mean, a little bit of wear on a couple edges.
Kind of like the Mendoza line, you know what I mean? A game that's worth a lot is a game that's worth the same amount now that it was back in 1982.
Yeah, right.
Ultimately,
you're right. I'm fine paying $30. I'm fine paying $30 for a good game.
Yes.
But yeah, when they start you like the 2000 for volleyball, I'm like, that's an okay game, but it's not ain't that great.
No,
no. Life Force Space Shooter. There was, I'm trying to think of what. See, I was a big TurboGrafx fan, and they had great shooters like Soldier Blade, Air Zonk, Gate of Thunder, Lords of Thunder, Blazing Lasers was a really good one. But then we're getting into more kind of 16-bit. But yeah, first shooter. Well, to be honest, my very first favorite shooter was AstroSmash, so I guess I can say that. That would be considered a shooter.
Sure. Well, bottom shooter, right?
Yeah.
Just like Space Invaders. Space Invaders would be mine because I had the Atari and the Space Invaders before we even get into the Intellivision. But, it's a fun game that stands up today. The original Space Invaders and the Atari 2600. Yeah. And there's a lot about the Atari 2600 version of Space Invaders that I like better than the arcade. Yeah, because didn't they have a wider ship on the Atari? It was like a little wider of a ship, and it just felt a little different too. It did. You also, that was your difficulty switch setting as well, narrow or wide. You could change it, huh? Yeah. But it was like less. There was less characters, less aliens on the screen, and less columns, and there was a set pattern that you could sort of always try to leave 8, and that would get them going at the perfect side-to-side rate. You could get by them and then shoot the things up top. And Sean, completely random. I was playing Fester's Quest today. What a fun, awful game. So true, dude. I mean, by the way, what's happening? I think everybody's got some friggin' experience with Fester's Quest, right? Oh, that's great. Yeah. Space Armada. And that to me is a great version. I mean, really is. It's a version of Space Invaders, but I thought it was cool. The sounds, the bloop, 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 bloop. It's just a little more bassy, kind of cool. Trying to get through it and get different things, different kinds of weapons coming at you and such. I thought the aliens look cooler on it too. They look like they have big suction cups coming down. Yeah. Like, what is your bias on the Amico release? Soft launch, no locks, parts and chips are still. I don't know. I mean, so far it's still set at October 10th. So, I mean, if it takes a little longer, like just saying after playing it, I mean, whatever they need to do, it's not gonna bother me if it comes out the first of the year or comes out in the second month of next year. I'm good. If they do a Founders VIP, soft pre-order thing or soft launch, I'm good with that too. I ain't gonna get ticked off if they don't. No, it is what it is. We're looking through a strange time, and the whole first we had a whole year of just nothing that pushed everything back because they would have, if none of that would have happened, it would have came out last year because they would have been able to do all their finalization. They would have been able to get into their offices to work on all these games, Yeah. But yeah, then you got this year. This year's been kind of weird too, and I don't think we're really going to get back to starting to be normal and even playing catch up till middle of next year. So we're almost not worried about getting back to normal. We're just trying to exist with the way it is now, and me too, Creep. Absolutely, buddy. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. There was Galaxian was really good on that too. I think. Yeah, because I have. You remember as well, Chuck, the Space Invaders in the arcade was just buttons, wasn't it? Left and right button. There wasn't a joystick. Yes, because I almost bought one a couple of years ago. I'm not big on that. I don't know. I like the joystick. Yeah, I'm more of a joystick person too. Yeah. Now some of the I have the modern not modern, but they're like a multi-cade board that you could put into an arcade. Okay, yeah. And that one has you use a joystick, so I kind of like playing it that way. Fester's Quest is a game I rented a ton and loved as a kid. I grew up and was surprised everyone considers it garbage. It just depends. Sometimes it's nostalgia that makes it good, and it's not just there's a perfect example. And then talk about obscure games. Microsurgeon, iMagic game from it for Intellivision. And I think that didn't come out on 2600. I don't think, right? No. Microsurgeon, yeah, because that was that was cool, but it was weird. And if you didn't really know how to play it, people thought it was terrible. But if you learned how to get in there, shoot the right lightning bolts to blast the plaque, to blast the viruses, and shot the vitamins and the aspirins or whatever they were, once you learned how to do it, it was an amazing, amazing game. You think kids today appreciate classic games for shooters like Space? Well, if you look at Dave and Buster's, they're still doing Space, and they're doing new versions of Space Invaders, new versions of Galaga.
And it's like, I always said this too. If you notice, anytime, no matter where there's an arcade, and I know that now there's a lot of retrocades and beercades and stuff, but I'm talking about just like if you go to a bowling alley or go to a bar, you're always going to see obviously the Golden Tee and the big buck hunters, but you're always going to see Pac-Man and Galaga.
Yeah.
Or Ms. Pac-Man and Galaga. You know, those are the ones that have just stuck around since.
Yeah. And by the way, if anybody's looking for more information on Microsurgeon, the 125 episode number 5.
Ooh. I will be watching that. That's one of my favorites. That was so weird playing that as a kid going, this is gross.
Episode 6, sorry.
6.
No, I love that game. I really did. We had it back then. It is so unique. And you said it wasn't on the Atari. No, it wasn't, but it was, and I should remember these things. It was out for one computer system. I think it was either the Amiga or the TI 99, is it called? But they did release it for one other system.
Now, what is the T? Is that Texas? Was that made for? Was that like a Mattel branch, the Texas Instruments one?
No, because
did Mattel just made those type? Because I know AstroSmash is on one of those.
The Magic that made it, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true. But I mean, as far as I've seen, AstroSmash is on like a certain computer as well.
Oh, I don't know.
It plays TJ from the Intellivision Amico Society, the Facebook group.
TJ Ferreira,
he was playing it. It was like his first time, and I was like, I'd never seen that version. He was playing it on a computer, and now
I saw that one too. And I'm not sure what that is, and I'm not sure DJC if it wasn't something somebody had made later on.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
it played different. The sounds were different. It was a little rougher looking, but it was interesting. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was almost similar to Astro Blast on M Network for Atari.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's
thank
Johnny
you.
Ups, it's a great series. I
apologize for being so long. I'm trying to develop a little set pattern. I got the pickups going on right now with that game room tour, and you're talking about just a little sneak peek. It's not. I don't know. It's coming up soon in that game room tour because I had a massive Xbox pickup from him. And that's why I mixed it in with it. Plus, my video wasn't very good. I screwed that up about the game room tour itself. But anyway, coming in the future, you were talking about TurboGrafx.
Yeah.
Complete TurboGrafx set.
Wow.
Coming up. And as for the 125, it's been 2 months now. I have to get on a better pattern, or else I'm going to be till 2057 getting through it. So between the Inti homebrew spotlights, which I want to keep doing, and 125s and the pickup videos from that one, I just sort of want to start rotating through. So it might be a week between videos, but I'm going to get on to the 125 and get it back onto a regular routine.
Sometimes it's hard to do that, especially the editing and all that and all the info. Yeah. That's hard. It's hilarious.
There's usually about 60 hours into each 125 by the time you write it and record it 4 or 5 hours, and it's a lot, but I love doing it. It's fun. Johnny,
we'll be 125 years old at this rate.
Yep.
So Intellivision's computer, or Mattel's computer, was the Mattel Aquarius, and that's why they ported Astro Smash from Mattel, because that was still owned by Mattel at the time. So that was an official port.
And that was
I knew it was a Mattel. What's that?
That was the one TJ played, the Aquarius. Yeah, he has an Aquarius.
I knew it had something to do with Mattel, and it was like an official release, but I had never seen it. So it was just one of those things. CJ played in the PC version of Intellivision. No, he was playing it on an old school like Aquarius computer. Yeah, he has all these old computers, and he plays them.
It was a different game. Like it was, you could tell that it was not the Astro Smash that we all know and love. Yeah. It was good. It was just different.
I hope Tommy gets the rights to Gex. I've been saying that for the last few years. Anytime there's a chance to ask, I was always like, Bonk's Adventure, Gex. I go, those would be two beautiful, colorful, amazing games that the Amico should get. I did a couple episodes of Is It Worthy for the Amico on that. Yeah. Gex and Bonk. And Air Zonk. See, I loved Air Zonk too, which was like Bonk's cyborg cousin that flew around and transformed. And that was such a cool thing. Yeah, that computer was a flop. I believe it was, because I didn't even have heard of it until I saw him playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, he has one.
Well, I can remember back in the day, it was like back in the day, in 1980 when it was still coming out that the big Masters component system was coming soon for like a year till they started getting all the fines. I wish something more had happened. If they had been anywhere other than just California, I'd have one of those right now, because my brother-in-law was chomping at the bit to get one. Like the $4 or $5 or $600 or $700.
Doesn't C-Mark got like 5 of those or something?
He's got 3, I think.
Wow, man, those are they look so cool because it looks like a Commodore or a VIC-20 keyboard with an Intellivision.
He was into it. He had computers and had the old ones and stuff like that, and he watched it right from the start. Can't wait to get this computer. Can't wait to get this computer, and it just didn't come. And then when it did get released a little bit, of course, it was 3,000 miles away from we are, right? So by God, he would have had one if that was the case. And
I always wanted the ECS, even with the Intellivision 2. I thought that looked really slick and cool. You know, Air Zonk is great. Atari Creep, yeah, that's one of my tops. Like, especially the game music. Like, I could listen to that game music just as alone. As a Detroit native, are you happy Detroit Pistons have #1 pick? Yes, I heard about that, and it might make me start watching basketball over here again. What do you plan to do on your birthday? I am going camping, and I'm going to eat bad food because I haven't ate bad food in about 4.5 months. So I'm going to have myself some wings, some burgers, a lot of fish, a lot of good fish up there. And they have a thing called it's like a Bloody Mary, but they put a smoked chub from Lake Michigan in there. You know, they smoke a bunch of different smoked fish, and they literally, it's smoked to where it's like a full fish, and they plop it in your Bloody Mary along with celery and everything else. And well, you pull it out and eat it. You don't like drink it with it. It looks soft. I'll have pictures. Trust me, guys. I will have tons.
Okay, you got to post that one, man.
And they call it a Chubby Mary.
Oh boy.
So do with that what you will. Does Tommy have the rights to Zombie Ate My Neighbors? I don't know. I don't know who makes that. But yeah, that's an interesting one.
That's just being re-released by who is it? By Limited Run Games?
Yeah, what is that going on the Switch?
Yes, yeah. I don't know that it's Limited Run Games, but it's one of the companies that
that are putting that out. I saw that Sega Master System one too, for Alex Kidd being released on Switch. Actually, I think Pete did an unboxing on it recently, but I was like, man, I need to get that. Yeah. I love those little limited stuff. I mean, think about collecting for like Switch in another 10 years from now or 15 years from now when they're into their second or whatever console, like those are going to be those limited run games. I'm telling you what, they're going to be amazing.
Wow.
LucasArts made that. Zombie 8 Man. Really? Okay.
I used to love their strange LucasArts games. And of course, in the 90s, I loved the TIE Fighter games and the X-Wing and TIE Fighter versus X-Wing, et cetera, et cetera. I had a Chubby Mary.
And I'm not sure. Well, hey, you know what?
Hey, back from the dead.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Back from the dead. What's up, dude? Yeah, it's I love a good Bloody Mary, and it's a really good one. And I also like the smoked fish up there. And normally you can they give you these like I don't know, they're like a cracker, like wafer kind of deep fried thing that you eat with them. I don't even know what they're called. And then they get it's a mini cream beer, but it doesn't barely taste like it's called like something. It's like an Irish cream ale, and you have that with it with the smoked fish and these crackers, and you eat it. And you're literally like, because it's all smoked, you just peel the skin back and the fillet just falls off the bone, and you're eating that. But instead, they're like, you want to get the full experience, get the Chubby Mary with the fish right in it. And I'm like, all right, so it's delicious, to be honest. So yeah, you'll see that. Yeah. And I will be proud of it. I will not be proud of that after having that. How did Tommy quarter the music in the video? He made everything from Aladdin to Terminator. I don't know. That'd be a good question for him.
I think there's only really one logical answer for that is he must have been awfully good. And once he made one thing, everybody just kept wanting him.
Yeah, he obviously does some great music.
In the band, so
I mean, some great stuff. Cool Spot is one of my favorite. Yeah. If I this thing's gonna fall into pieces because it hit the floor already once. My Sega sign. This is one of my favorite games, retro games. Cool Spot.
You had that.
I didn't know he worked on it. What's that?
You had that in the 90s as well. That was one of the games that I had when I had my Genesis.
Yeah, I bought this for my Genesis.
Yeah. I mean, I still have it upstairs.
It's in my Genesis right now.
Oh, there you go. That's just a great, fun game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to read in here. I bet it says his name in here.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't know he did that. I didn't really know about him then. But yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Like Mike says there, his list of credits is like phenomenally long. I mean,
oh, it is. Yeah, talent. Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say that too.
yeah,
it could be.
It is, but you know, it's like it's there. It's got to be done right. It's got to be done right. So if you can't get something, you can't get something. We'll wait for it because it's right there on the edge. So
have a guitar playoff. See, I can't play guitar. I do vocals. I wish I would have learned guitar. I still kind of want to try to play like at least a few, like learn a few songs or a few like I don't know, chord. I don't even. I'm getting a hold of a guitar soon, and I used to be able to mess around a little bit, but that was like almost 20 years ago. I have to relearn. But yeah, I always wished I could play guitar because it just looks so fun and so cool.
Here's your question down at the bottom.
Why did Coca-Cola phase out Tab? What's the official reason? Because they're big poopy heads. It was because of when COVID happened, they phased out, I think, 8 different sodas that they were on their lower end that was just the least selling. And Tab, they tried to phase out many times, but there was a lot of fans. I'm not the only crazy person. Although, no, there's people a lot crazier than me that do these petitions. And they almost did it so many, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And people were protesting and petitioning and blah, 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 blah. And they were, okay, well, we'll just do like 1 million tabs a year, which for them is nothing, and, then eventually it was like, oh, we're only going to manufacture 500,000 cans. And then it was like, now we're only doing 100,000. And then they're like, you know what, can we just cut this thing and be done? So we don't lose money, And I think that's what happened. But, who knows, how Pepsi brought back Crystal Pepsi, for a little bit and it flew off the shelves. I'm sure Tab will be back at some point in the future.
I gotta ask you because I have drank Tab. I mean, Tab was around forever. Tab was like the original diet
soda, and it really tasted like a real soda. It didn't have that strong diet aftertaste that all these.
It did in the 70s.
Well, maybe I don't think.
What
I
is
guess I'm used to it.
What is the sweetening agent in that? Right
saccharin.
now.
Saccharin. It's still
saccharin?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's got to be a limit of how much saccharin you put in stuff now that it's a proven carcinogen.
Yeah. Well, they did. Well, which was really funny is for the longest, I should say it's funny, but for the longest time they had will cause you cancer by Surgeon General from the, and they had to print that on them for a ton of reason.
Wow.
Or a ton of for a while, ton of years, I should say. And then what happened is like it was not even like 2 years ago, right before they stopped making Tab, because I think 2020 was it 20?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2020 was last year they made it. So it was right before that they proved that those tests were incohesive, that was a lie. It was because back when the NutraSweets and whoever else makes all those artificial sweeteners were. There was a whole a lawsuit stuff where they were like saccharin didn't cause any cancer
because they went from saccharin to this was when I was in middle school. Saccharin was, and they went from saccharin to aspartame.
Yeah, that was the other one, and this one still does have some phenylurea. I can't even say this phenylalanine. So it does have some of the new stuff, but once again, saccharin 7.9 milligrams of saccharin.
Wow.
And that's per 1 ounce. There's 12 ounces in here. I love how they put per 1 ounce, so it doesn't sound as bad. So I think you say, I just don't think it does have a weird aftertaste, but it's its own kind of aftertaste. And to me, Diet Coke, I'm not a diet drink person anyways, which is weird why I like this, but Diet Coke to me has the ultimate aftertaste, Yeah. And I think this is way sweeter and better than that. I'm not saying it's like a pure cola, but it's more cola.
my take on it is say, do you get used to it? I think if you get used to one, that's what you get used to. You don't notice that anymore. You try something different and you really do notice it heavy.
Oh, yeah, then you would. Like if I went and like grabbed a Pepsi after this, I'd be like, oh my God, sugar.
I used to hate diet. And now I do that's what I drink, Diet Pepsi. When I don't drink a whole lot of soda, but
yeah, I kind of stopped. I'm more water now,
or beer, right?
Or a good beer, yeah, right. And
Coca-Cola was awesome.
I do love
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, like an ice cold Coca-Cola out of the freezer where it's starting to freeze like a Slurpee. But Tab and a whiskey, like a good whiskey, it actually is. I love it. I still love it. That's why I'm bummed out, because I cannot have a Tab and whiskey, or Tab and Jack Daniels is really good.
Tab and Jack Daniels. It reminds me of Mr. Furley and his scotch and root beer.
Yeah, can I get a couple cherries in that?
Yeah, a couple cherries.
Oh God, that's such a great show. They jammed more NutraSweet into those lab rats, and that's true, and that's what they were saying. They were like there would be more saccharin or NutraSweet or whatever they were injecting into these rats that their body could even take or absorb, that not even a human being in their lifetime could absorb. And then they like started showing signs. Like it was like, well, you do that with anything.
I have to let my dog out.
But yeah, I don't know. Tab is it's getting phased out. There's not much left. I might keep a couple sealed cans. I don't know if I'd ever drink it after. I think I'd still drink one after a year, because I think I've had pops or sodas, whatever you want to call them, and in the back of my fridge for like a year and a half, and they still crack fine, and you could pour it like a 7-Up or a Pepsi. So I'm sure, even though these expire on the 31st, that I'm sure I'll have a couple, for the next couple of years. On Christmas, I'll make a Jack Daniels in the Tab.
I think you'll be okay.
But Ralph Furley versus Stanley Roper. Well, we'll save that for another time, because we're about an hour.
We've debated that before.
And I thank you, Papa Pete, for showing up and talking to Intellivision and Tornadoes and Tab Cola.
Tab, yeah.
And lots of other stuff.
And cool Spot, 7-Up.
And Cool Spot. Oh, there you go, 7-Up, right?
Yeah.
Cherry 7-Up, another great one. But thank you, chat. Thanks. Please like and subscribe if it's your first time coming in here. All of my regulars, love you guys. And I'm going to go have a fun birthday trip.
Have fun.
All right. See you, everyone.
See you guys.